How's it going, YouTubers? Nightmare7 here. I'm back with another toy review. And today I'm reviewing the Transformers Studio Series 86 Cliffjumper for the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. Now, this is just a repaint of the Earthrise Cliffjumper, but before we can talk about the figure, let's take a look at the packaging for these Buzzworthy Bumblebee figures. Now, if I can zoom in, there we go. Close, please. Alright. Now here we have the box for our Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Like all of the Buzzworthy Bee figures. We got Mirage, RC, Cyberverse B and Prime. And we got the picture, we have a picture of an image of the figure himself in both modes with the bazooka. And he does have a backdrop, which I'll show later near the end of the video. You got Cliffjumper. So this is basically this is of course the Earthrise Cliffjumper in a more cartoon accurate paint job. Or in this case, Transformers the movie released in 1986, but exactly the same fit. It's the exact same character from the cartoon, just in a movie. Now onto the figure himself. Now this is of course a Target exclusive, which does confuse me because there's no only at Target sticker. Now, that really confuses me, to tell you the truth, you guys, because I'm not sure if they are exclusives or not. If there's no sticker, hard to tell. But here we have Cliffjumper, and it is just a repaint of the Earthrise figure, which I do still have. Which, I'm being honest, I wish I waited to get this so I could do a 2-in-1 review. But oh well. But I'm not going to talk much about this figure because it's just a repaint and I already reviewed this. But I will show you the comparison in the differences. As you can tell, the Earthrise Cliffjumper is a dark red. I believe he's meant to be toy accurate, I think. Like to resemble the old G1 toy back in 1984. Or whatever year the original G1 Cliffjumper toy was released. But I feel like this one's meant to look like the G1 toy. And this one, cartoon accurate. So again, the red is different, of course. This is a lighter red, where this one was a darker red. The windshields are now painted all in one color. They're all painted, not translucent like this one. This one was a translucent teal for the passenger, the front, and the driver's side windows, whereas the back window, it's just one solid color. It's painted black. This one's all solid colors. One color. It's a light blue. And the Autobot symbol is now in front instead of on the grill. Where this one had the white lining, and this one has silver linings. The red's same on the figure itself. The only difference is that it has silver lining instead of white. This one's just a sticker. Meant for robot mode. We'll talk about that later. The front little lights are still painted in silver. Even the bottom grill is painted in silver still. That hasn't changed. But the Earthrise Cliffjumper had the top grill black. This one's unpainted, which makes it G1 cartoon accurate, I guess. The rims still look the same. The silver rims, they look the same. If anything, I feel like the new Cliffjumper has the silver on the new Cliffjumper rims. I feel like they're just a little bit darker. Not too much, but a little bit darker. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, they have a little more gunmetal look to it, kind of, but not super different. The back bumpers, the exhaust pipes are painted silver on the Earthrise, whereas the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Cliffjumper, it's unpainted. It's just left red. The backlights were already unpainted, but they kept it silver, but still kind of unpainted. They didn't really paint the actual tail lights. So like on this one, unpainted, kind of. At least could have given it a little more detail, but it doesn't bother me at all. So that's pretty much it about these two Cliffjumpers. Now you got your first comparisons and the bazookas. This one, the new Cliffjumper, has a light blue, like a light, not exactly as blue as this one, like a metallic. This one's like a metallic sky blue, whereas the Earthrise Cliffjumper had it silver. They even got that detail. It's the exact same detailing, just in a different color. They even got this, like this one. Pretty cool. And now, for comparisons now, let me just show you how they look like together. Right? Here he is with the other Cliffjumpers. I'm going to compare him with the other Cliffjumpers I have in my collection. Here he is, Classics Cliffjumper. Well, one more thing I should show you. I'm sure you guys already know, but see how short our new figures are? Yeah, it's not as big as the Classics Cliffjumper. The Autobot symbol, there's a sticker I added. No more rub symbol, thankfully. But still a good figure. This back then, I believe, used to be like, what? 8, 9, 10 bucks back then? 23 bucks. Which is ridiculous. Here he is with animated Cliffjumper. The Activators version, of course. We never got an animated deluxe Cliffjumper. That never existed. There was no listing for that either. But still a nice figure. Movie 1 Cliffjumper from the old toy lines for the old Spark Power line. Hankei Legends Cliffjumper. We never got a Hankei Deluxe Cliffjumper. We got this little guy. Now there was an episode where he did try it with this thing. Here he is with Hound, Universe Hound. I am aware that we're getting a Buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound or a Studio Series 86 Hound, but I don't care to get that figure. All I know is that it's going to be a reshell of Siege Hound. I don't really care to get that figure. I like this Hound more. But these still look really good together. They still look decent together. Here he is with Prime, Siege Prime. Netflix B. Buzzworthy Bumblebee B. Siege Megatron, the 35th anniversary repaint, but exactly the same figure, just done in a more G1 look. The oversized knockoff of Siege Megatron. Since he's the villain of the cartoon, I wanted him to be bigger than Prime. And Siege Starscream. Now that is a sticker. Now for the bazooka, since I didn't have this back then with the original when I reviewed it, what I like to do with this thing, lift it up, and if you want them shooting some Decepticons, there you go. That way that doesn't touch the actual window because I don't want it to scrape. But he still rolls pretty well. Now he does have that ability to where, remember there's a scene where he could drive on water. This can do that. Just hang on, let me do it off screen, off camera. Right now that he's in his where he can drive on water. Not sure what kind of mode I should call this. Like a boat car, I guess. But that's how he would look like. And I did the same thing with the Earthrise one. And which one do you think looks better in this mode? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, that's enough. I'm going to transform everybody now, so hang on. Alright, now that I got him transformed, time for some comparisons. Here he is next to, of course, Earthrise Cliffjumper. Let me back that up a little bit. Here he is next to animated activators Cliffjumper, if I can get him to stand, and the Bayverse Cliffjumper from 2008. Here he is next to Handcake Legends Cliffjumper and Classics Deluxe Cliffjumper. Hang on. Here he is with Siege Megatron. I will lift the camera up, hang on. And Siege Screamer, Starscream. Megatron's second in command. So that's yeah, I wonder how he's gonna be able to beat these guys. They're huge. They're big. Here he is with Siege Prime and the oversized Megatron knockoff, which I need to see. And this is what I meant earlier when I mentioned I wanted a bigger Megatron. Wanted him to be bigger than Optimus, since he is the villain and the leader of the Decepticons. And let me just admit, I'm just used to seeing Megatron being the biggest. For the Bayverse films anyway. So that's Cliffjumper with a Prime and Megatron. Here he is next to both Bumblebees. Now you let me know which one looks better with. And just screw it, let me just grab the other one just because. And you guys can let me know who goes better with who. Now, which being Cliffjumper would look better with who? Would you like this Cliffjumper? Do you think this Cliffjumper looks better with this Bumblebee? Since it is accurate, of course. They're meant to be cartoon accurate, of course. At least the vehicle, anyway. Or if you like to keep them the same line together. Like, I like to keep the Buzzworthy Bumblebee and Buzzworthy Cliffjumper together. Because since these two were the first to be released, I don't know who exactly came out. If it's Earthrise Cliffjumper or Netflix Bee. I don't know which one of those two came out first. But all I know is that these two came out first before these two. So I like to keep these two together. And these two together because they're part of the same line. Which to me makes sense. And one more comparison, finally. Hang on a second. One more comparison and finally we'll get onto the figure himself. Final comparison. Universe 2.0 Hound. Now again, I don't plan on getting the new Buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound. That's a reshell of Siege Hound. Don't really plan on getting that figure at all. This is still a good figure. I still love this figure. So I'm still going to keep this one. And that's pretty much it. Now onto the figure himself. Now again, for how he looks like, the difference for this figure between the Earthrise version that came out first. And I can't remember exactly the year he came out, but again, the reds of course are different. The fists are still black. The crotch is still black. Oh, I feels wrong saying that. The crotch is still black. This one didn't have an Autobot symbol back then on the chest. This is a sticker. This one finally has one. It's painted on, where this one's a sticker I had to buy individually. The elbows, the forearms are now on the new Cliffjumper. This is now black and gray instead of red and black. The fists are still the same black. Same thing with the the crotch pieces. They're still black, of course. And the legs are now on the new Cliffjumpers are now gray instead of black. But everything's still the same. See? But the mold's still the same otherwise. So not too many differences there. They mean to knock them over. But however, with the bazooka, now you can make it into you can split it like earlier and make it look like he has two little handguns, but I don't really care for that. So I'm not gonna show it off. But what I like to do is rotate this piece up and so I can see a little more color. I like to lift this thing up and hold it on this arm. And he can, and again, any arm will do. He can hold it in either arm. And he can hold it pretty well. Same thing for the Earthrise. If you remember my review on this thing, I got this pre-owned and didn't come with the whole bazooka. I had to get another one. But again, still really nice. I really love this figure. As the bazooka being so long and I can actually touch the ground. Now for storage, you can do that, but that looks nah, don't do that. I don't think it's gonna hold that well. So the joints on this one feels exactly the same. I feel like there's no mold degradation, however you say it, but there's no looseness on this figure at all. Like on this one, there are no looseness at all, no issues at all, which is pretty impressive. Articulations of course is the same. Nothing's changed. Yeah, nothing new at all. He can still hold the back piece as a shield. The back vehicle piece he can still hold it as a shield, but I'm not gonna. I'll just show it to you. He can still do that. I'll just do it on this arm. He can still do that, and with his bazooka, he can. Ready to shoot some Decepticons if you care to do the shield, but I really don't care. Not because of parts forming. I don't care about parts forming at all, you guys. I know the G1, the original G1 figures parts formed, but using the vehicle parts as a weapon for robot mode, yeah, no. I'd rather not do that. But overall, still a really nice figure. Very nice. Now again, this is a Target exclusive, and one more thing before I go. For those who really care, I don't, but I'll just do it for the video anyway. The background that all Studio Series figures have, including the movie ones. You can, if you want, you can have them displayed like that. If you want. Now again, I really don't care about these things at all, so I'm not gonna keep this background. Of course, I'm gonna discard it because I really don't care for it. But overall, still a nice display option if you want. Now I don't know if Cliffjumper's still in Target stores, but I doubt he is because this was released in the beginning of the year. But I'm not too sure. I haven't seen him recently. But if you just want a Cliffjumper in general of this mold, just find the cheapest, whatever you can find. I don't know which one's a better option. If you want, I guess, a toy accurate Cliffjumper, or if you just want more red, because red's my favorite color. If you want a Cliffjumper as red as possible, just get this one. Or if you want a cartoon accurate version, get this one. I guess this one's meant to be toy accurate. I'm guessing. I don't know. I've never looked up images of the G1 toy, so I'm not sure if it's actually toy accurate or not, or just a random design. But either way, you guys, that's gonna be my review of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Cliffjumper for the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. Now again, it was a Target exclusive. If you still find them at your Target store, just pick them up. But again, I'm not too sure yet though. Had them for a while now, but if you can find them in general, pick him up. He's definitely a nice figure, especially for your classics shelf or collection. It's still a nice Cliffjumper, especially if you don't have the Classics Cliffjumper from 2006, which is of course the modified Volkswagen thingy that I just showed earlier. But either way, if you can get this one, pick it up. Definitely, it's still a nice figure. Even if you already have this figure, let's be honest, yeah, this is still a nice figure. So again, if you just want another Cliffjumper, for example, one to display in robot mode and one to display in vehicle mode, that's definitely not a bad idea. But either way, you guys, stay tuned for my next toy review. I'll be back with another toy review ASAP. But for now, take care. Till all are one. Nightmare 70 out.